Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Garden Mess. I just love this weather that we're starting to have. September is here, and our mornings and our evenings are cooling down. Still gets warm in the middle of the day, but nothing like it had been. The garden is starting to show its life again with color and all sorts of just life. I mean, from the flowers and the birds being more active, and just everything is just bursting with life today. And anyway, I just want to get out here and maybe grab some video of the garden, maybe even do maybe a partial tour. Definitely check on the vegetables. My watermelons are growing, and they're ready, but we had like a week of rain. So I'm really hoping that our watermelons get enough sunlight to sweeten them up. I'm kind of afraid that because they didn't ripen right away, that potentially the amount of rain that we had has made them more watery. But anyway, I've been tempted just to cut them off the vine, but been nervous too that, my anxiety is making me rush. So anyway, I'm trying to be patient, but that's a gift, right? A skill. So anyway, let's just go around the garden and see what's going on. So this is my view this morning, where I'm standing from. And this is the backyard. I've already done a tour of the backyard for September, and I didn't get to highlight a lot of the individual plants. I was trying not to make it too long. But anyway, it's just so peaceful today. So peaceful. I'm loving it. I just love the temperature. The temperature is just so nice. It really is. Now I've got quite a bit of things that I want to have done in this garden. I think I even may have mentioned some of my ideas. Um, I've got a couple trees that I want to take out. This big tree right here is a Chinese hollow Chinese holly tree. It, you know, it's not super thick, and it's probably because it's not getting a lot of trimming on it. Um, but, I really don't care for it. It is evergreen, which is nice, and it makes a place for birds. And I love having the birds in the yard. But those spines are just so stiff. And when it drops its leaves, and it drops a lot of leaves, um, I guess as they die. And when I'm trying to clean them up, even with gloves, they're sharp, very sharp. And so birds do nest in that tree. I mean, there's always been one nest in that tree, although there's no birds nesting in it currently. And anyway, but I'm just not a fan of that tree. So I'm probably going to pull it out and hopefully get all the roots, because I pulled out holly bushes before, and they grow back from the roots if you leave any roots in the ground. So hopefully I'll get that removed. So that's one thing. I have a lot on my to-do list that I want to do. The second thing I'd like to do is you can't see it very well, but I've highlighted it before. I have a purple colored crepe myrtle that has dark purple colored leaves all year long. And it does love full sun, and it will keep that leaf color. It's doing great where it's at, and I'm not 100% certain about this, but I wonder if the the red bud that I have right here will shade it out. And if it does shade it out, I just, it probably won't bloom as well. I just think they're too close. I planted them too close. And the red bud is doing good, growing and getting fuller. So I think that, and I need to look it up, are crepe myrtles in the rose family? Because if they're not in the rose family, then I definitely have a place for it in the front yard, where those knockout roses that had the rose rosette disease, which I probably will finish that task today, just because it's so pleasant and beautiful outside. But the other thing I'm plan on doing is I was going to change all of my irrigation for this area, but then I think I've decided I think I'm going to turn that into an apothecary garden and grow herbs that are good for your body for healing and medicinal uses. It gets so much sun, but it stays pretty dry, and a lot of the herbs can grow in pots. Some can grow in the ground, but I just think that I don't want anything tall over there because I don't want the morning sun being blocked. And so I just think possibly, that area would make for a great little apothecary. I could build like a little white baby picket fence, like a mini picket fence, and then have all the herbs behind it. I don't know. That's what I was seeing in my mind. And I really think that I'll like um, the use of that space better. But anyway, that's just another one of my ideas. Let's see what else is going on in the garden. Now, just in the span of a couple 3 weeks since I last did a garden tour. I did one at the beginning of August, but didn't get it uploaded to almost the end of August. So the garden tour that you saw um, just in the last few weeks was definitely late being posted. So you're going to see a lot of growth and a lot of change. Anyway, my watermelon. All right, so the watermelon is planted in this planter box, and it is sprawled out, and it has gone all sorts of different directions. There's the end of it right there. And then it wants to come out to the driveway, but I've been moving it over. But it has, of course, watermelons in it. A couple died. I don't know what happened, but I had one here that perished. Not sure why. I have one here. I have one right there past the little sprinkler head. I've not been watering because we had so much rain. I have one there and one there. And I'm sure I have others, but I just cannot. And actually, it's not planted in this one, it's planted in that bed. So that bed has the watermelon. That's where the plant is, but it's crawled out and has made its way. And again, there might be other watermelon, but they're so good at hiding. Sorry if the screen is jumping around. Anyway, so it's planted in here. And I've got some dill growing in here, and my tomato fell over with the wind. We had a windstorm, and it's made room for the watermelon, of course, because of that. So I'm going to have my husband come out and help stake that back up. But all this watermelon growth. Now, this is why I have this whole patched area over here. And now that the watermelon's growing like this, it's going to help me to next year when I plant pumpkins and squash here, I'm going to be able to plant it and train it to come this way. But this is kind of what it'll look like. And once it starts growing, I won't be able to walk in it. So I'll have to make sure that this area is completely prepared for it so that I don't have to walk in the area. Because once they start growing, you don't want to step on the vines. And it's hard. I mean, there's no way to walk through that. I mean, you could probably tippy toe, but who wants to do that, right? I don't want to tippy toe. Now, this watermelon, what's kind of weird about it is I don't see any watermelons on this plant because this is a second watermelon. It's got a lot of leaf growth. What might have happened, there are quite a few flowers, but it's actually coming. Look at that. I'm going to have to move that. Let's see if I can get over there and do that. That's going from underneath. Oh my. Oh, there's a bee busy. He's busy, but it's too late in the season for watermelon to now start forming. So I'm going to start cutting some of the ends so it doesn't keep growing, because it's September and our first frost is I believe November 15th. here in northwest Louisiana. But yeah, so that watermelon is not growing any watermelon, that plant right there. And then I have, and hopefully it survives, I've sprayed this plant for powdery mildew, and I don't know that it's helped. I'm going to try peroxide this time around. Tonight, I'm going to come out here probably about 5 and spray my cantaloupe with some peroxide and water. So 3% peroxide mixed with water. And I watched a video and it said how much to put. But, you know, some of my leaves look okay, but then a lot of them look like this, which I'm going to come out here and cut most of the really bad ones off. Anything that looks like it's dead, died, you know, not coming back, you know, the like ones with the holes and things. But I don't want my cantaloupe tasting weird. Uh-oh. Oh. No? Okay, which one is that on? I'm looking for the tendril, but it's on this stem. I think this is its tendril. That one's green still. These are not. These brown ones are not. Anyway, so anyway, I got to come out here and spray. And these tomatoes should start producing again now that the temperatures have dropped. And I'm just going to keep tying them to my trellis. My cucumber also not doing well. In fact, it started getting whatever that black, see? I've got to come out here and cut these off. I've been trying to cut them off, but the cucumber, it's sickly. But we have so many cucumbers and I'm not too worried about it. But look, you see they're starting to get deformed because of the disease. So I've got to get on top of this next year. This is my first time growing cucumbers. So I'm learning as I go. And then my pepper plants are coming back to life. This is my jalapeno. And I see a little flower there. And this is a pepper of some sort of gypsy sweet pepper. That's what the little tag says. My other little mini snackable pepper perished, but that's okay. And then I found a kale seedling that I found that had seeded itself. So I pulled it up and transplanted over here. We'll see. It was in the cracks of the driveway, not where you want it to grow. And then I have my zucchini or squash. I don't know which one. Zucchini squash. It's a green variety. So I had to come out here and spray this as well. And then my honeydew. I had one growing. Where'd it go? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's getting big. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, it's not stuck between there. Okay, good. I was a little on the worried side. I thought it was like stuck in between the metal. I think that's my only one that formed, which is okay because I found them late in the season. These little seeds that I had put between paper paper towels, wet it and put it in the fridge. No, I put it outside. It was not in the fridge. Wet paper towels, put them outside in a little Ziploc baggie. They didn't rot. They sprouted. So then I planted them. I just stumbled upon them. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. So my mandarins are hanging on. There's not a lot of them left. A few of them dropped during the heat of the summer. Because again, this is in a potted container. I've got 2 more over here. But it's starting to, oh, here's another one. But it's starting to come down with some, can you see that? Splotchy black stuff. So I'll have to come and cut that. I try to pull them off, but they don't pull off easy. And my pole beans are growing, and then my bush beans are growing. And I have some more squash over there. And then I'm trying to grow some carrots, and so I'm trying to keep it moist. The first batch I did dried out, I think. So I need to be better about coming out and watering them every day. You know, I planted them once before, and I must have done really good at watering them because they all sprouted, and I had a ton of carrots, and they were in like a potted planter that was like super deep. Okay, what is blooming here? What is this? Oh, this is I think this is Brussels sprouts. This is a Brussels sprout plant that survived somehow and is growing. Oh, look, I've got some more self-seeded kale plus weeds. Get that out of there. Huh. And looks like I have a crepe myrtle or maybe a waxy leaf ligustrum. Not sure. I'll have to take a picture. Kind of looks like a ligustrum of some sort. It'll be coming out. We don't want that growing in there. Rosemary's doing great. And I'm not sure about the onions. Of course, I've never grown them before. Kind of don't know what I'm doing there. These green onions here, they were in my refrigerator and they weren't looking so good, and I didn't want to use them in my dinner. And so I just stuck them in the ground and they have perked up. So they'll end up in some sort of dish later. My other tomato flopped over. Of course, it's in an itty bitty little cage and it was not strong enough to hold it up. That's an indeterminate tomato, which I had planned to have staked up differently, but never got around to it. So, and a neighbor had came and given me some tomato cages, and she said she put them around some of my tomatoes, and I never did move them. So now they're flopped over. But that's okay, I don't mind, because I'll just stake them back up. But I have some alyssum in here and some marigolds, and I will save seeds and replant these again. And then I have some, if it's not broken. Wow, is it a, here, move over. This is rue. It's such a pretty plant. I love the bluish green color of the leaves. Like, I would probably just plant this for its leaves. I don't know what you use it for. Never grown it before, but it's pretty. Good morning. Probably should move so he doesn't feel so scared. This is my pineapple ground cherry, tomato cherry. Oh, it's dropped a lot of its fruit. But I have one that's self-seeded in my mulch. Here it is. Well, is that? I don't know, actually. Hold on one second. Let's see. These leaves are very soft. And the stripes on the... Oh, it is. Yeah, see? It's got one right there. Huh. This is definitely a ground cherry. it tastes like pineapples. I just guess I'd never seen its flowers before. Those are kind of pretty. Anyway, it's self-seeded. I decided to let it grow. My alyssum is starting to bloom again now that the heat is not so bad. Still have not found a place to plant that. Doesn't really go with my theme, but I will probably give that away to somebody, or maybe pot it up in a container and put it in the backyard somewhere. Oh, but let me show you. I went to an estate sale and I got these little plastic containers that have these little holes that you can self-seed, water it through. And I think I'm going to clean the soil out, clean them up, and I think I'm going to put my lettuce in here because they're pretty shallow. They're not that deep. And I think that, for what I'm trying to do with my garden, I don't want to take up a lot of space in the beds with the lettuce, especially when I could put this out here on the driveway and because lettuce grows really good in potted containers, and it doesn't have very deep roots. So, as long as the soil you use is nutrient rich, they should get plenty of nutrients into their leaves for you to eat, but they don't really have to go in the ground. And I don't want to use space in the boxes. Besides, I think I'm going to redesign this because that area does not get as much sun as I thought it would, even though it's in full sun right now. And it does stay in full sun most of the day. For some reason, the sunlight it gives just is not as potent, maybe. So I'll probably end up using that space more for things that can tolerate more shade, and then put all the real sunny stuff out here. I wish that you could feel the breeze. I wish you could feel it. It is so pleasant. Ah, wonderful. It really is. Let's take a look and see the planting that we did in front of the picket fence. Or maybe not. Maybe not, because the sunlight is just crazy over here. Definitely dappled, but still. That's looking good. Wow, those are really filled in. And the hibiscus that I planted is still doing well, thriving, definitely doubled in its size, definitely likes being out of its can. So now it won't survive. I'll have to pull it up and bring it inside before it gets before temps drop below 40, I believe. Yeah, that yellow lantana does not disappoint. Some of these plants, again, will live, and some of them are just there temporarily, and they are annuals, and they will not survive. So we'll end up planting this section and this area up again, and we'll do that in another video once the weather starts to cool down. Well, everyone, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I am just sitting out here just for a little while longer, going to enjoy the rest of the cool temperatures before it gets a little too hot. But I just am really enjoying this morning. Just going to enjoy a little bit more time out here. But I hope that I will see you in the next video. And I thank you for joining me today. And, if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That does help our channel to grow and get out there in front of more people. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.